Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IELTS speaking class. My name is Alexander, and I'll be going through some tips relating to the IELTS exam, as well as providing practice for those who wish to improve their IELTS speaking. So let me bring Jennifer into the class today, who's joining us to find out everything that's been happening with Connetics. How are you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm just living the dream, living the dream.
Awesome. How
Yeah,
was Thanksgiving last week?
it was wonderful. We had family. They were in from out of town, all the way from Colorado. They drove
Wow.
all the way here, so that was kind of neat. It was pretty low key though. It wasn't very busy. Just had family here, so it was really nice. Just ate a lot of turkey and Thanksgiving food, a lot of pies.
Right.
So it was good. It was really good. And then, there's Black Friday the day after Thanksgiving. So I don't know if that's a big thing where you guys live. Here, it's kind of a big thing. It's kind of
It's
crazy.
become
So
that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like most things that begin in America, it doesn't take too long for them to be exported around the rest of the world.
that's true. Well, if you've got some Christmas shopping to do for friends, family, or yourself, like myself, I invested in a really nice laptop, a new laptop for work. So kind of excited about that. So I can do even more and faster and quicker and all those good things.
One
Yeah,
thing that I've never been sure about, though, is with the Black Friday deals, are they really deals, or is it just a marketing exercise to get people to go and buy things for prices that
for suckers like me. Well, I don't know.
I
They jack up
don't
the
know.
price and they put sale on it, and I'm sold.
Well, this is it. This is what I'm not sure about.
Yeah. Well, there's probably some truth to that. I'm not gonna lie, but in particular with the laptop, I found I've been looking around for a while, and they've got it up now $500 more than what I paid for it, so I'm happy about that. So, but you're right. There's definitely some
Wow.
truth to that. So, but it doesn't stop me from shopping. So here I am. I'm still shopping. So yeah, it's
Good
great.
for you.
It's great. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I'm not going to waste everyone's time. I'll just introduce myself really quick. I'm Jennifer Olgenbruns. I'm the IELTS support specialist here at Connetics USA. Some of you already know me, some of you do not. Um, my what I do here basically is once you are signed up with Connetics and you have been placed in the USA, so you already have placement, a job you're going to, then my job is to get you enrolled in Swoosh English. And that's where I come in and I help you through every step of the way as much as I possibly can. I get you enrolled and I help you work through your review so you can pass your IELTS exam the first time. So that is my job and my role here. I'm here all the time via everything. Really email all day long and WhatsApp and Telegram, and I'm always here. So that's what I do. A couple things that we do. I'll just tell you really quick. When you are a passer, an IELTS exam passer, we do a hero interview. I try to get anyone who is ready to do a little interview with me. I try to keep it short, about 30 minutes, but after you've passed, we do that. So we try to do that weekly, and it's been a really good success doing that. So I just had one on today's Friday, so Wednesday, 2 days ago. So if anyone gets a chance to watch that, if you have not already, it's posted on Facebook, it's on our YouTube page, that sort of thing. It's always, weekly, daily are updates on posted, uploaded. That's what I'm trying to say on either one of those forms. So we've got that going on. We've got a raffle going on that we've recently started. So once a month, we have a raffle the last Friday of the month. Last Friday was a holiday for us, celebrating Thanksgiving. So we are actually doing that today. In the next 30 minutes, we are doing a raffle. So one lucky winner will receive their IELTS exam paid for by Connetics USA. So that's kind of a really big deal. So that's just the exam. That is not travel. I'm just going to put that in quotations. just so you know.
Hmm.
So that's exciting. So in 30 minutes, I will be we will be picking a name. Actually, my daughter and I, she's going to be my co-host, and she's going to draw the name out of the hat. So, and we'll know who won for the month of November. Yeah, so we're doing that. Moving on to the next big thing is the referral. If you can refer a friend or a family member who has already passed their NCLEX exam, they have to have already passed their NCLEX to qualify, but you would get $1,000 bonus for referring a friend or family member. And like I've said before, you can spend that $1,000 once you move here to the States and shop till you drunk, because that's what we do here. Let's see. I am forgetting. Oh, okay. Let me just touch on the Telegram group really quickly. Okay, Alex. We are lucky enough. We expanded our WhatsApp group. So we've moved our WhatsApp group to Telegram. If you're watching and if you're already in your Swoosh review through Connetics USA and you have not yet downloaded Telegram, please download Telegram, and I would say follow the link, but I don't have it right here. I'm sorry. So anyway, join the group. You can find me on Telegram. I could put you in the group, either which way. So that's kind of a few things that has been going on around here. We're just busy, and more nurses coming in more than ever. And now's the time. Now's the time to move to the U.S. to get your IELTS exam passed and get everything else in order to come. Now is the time.
Absolutely. Have we had any success stories? I know that I received a message from Seema, who had joined the class on a number of occasions to do live practice. She has passed her IELTS exam. So
Yes.
Yeah. That's all
I
sorted.
just found that, yes, yesterday. Yeah. Isn't that great? I just got the good word yesterday. So probably in the last, and we are also on track, just so you know, and just so the viewers know, we are on track this year for 2021 for Connetics USA having the most IELTS passers than ever before.
Wow.
So the numbers are really good. They're really good. And we are down to 4 weeks in the rest of the month. So, if you think you're ready to take your exam, do it. Let me know, whatever the case may be. Just in this last week and this week, just another, 6 or 8. Just off the top of my head. So weekly, daily, they're coming in weekly by the handful. So everybody is definitely putting in the time and the hard work to get this done. And it's pretty amazing that I get to be a part of seeing everybody's success. It's kind of really neat that I get to be there. And yesterday, I won't give any names, but I did get a message yesterday from somebody else sending me a screenshot of their results. And he was he was a little bummed that he didn't pass. And I looked at the scores and I said, well, he's not going to Maryland. And I double checked and I double checked again. And I was like, well, you passed. And he didn't think he passed. So I bet that feeling is just like, wow, you think you don't pass and then you get your email back from me. Actually, you passed, sir, you passed. So
there you go. So check those results carefully. Yeah,
exactly. I made his day. So that's something. So yeah, we've got stories like that coming in all the time. And if you want to read the reviews, I'm trying to spit it out. We've got reviews on Trustpilot. You're welcome to read anyone. We've got reviews on our Facebook page. You can do that in Lafora if you've got a chance to do that, whatever the case may be. If you have questions regarding the IELTS and something I can try to help you with along the way, if you have questions, I'm always here trying to help and trying to ease the pain in the process and just try to make it smooth and whatever I can do to give my help.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a 5-minute intro, and here we are. Darn it, Alex.
No worries. It's good to catch up. We didn't catch up last week, so there's the excuse.
We didn't. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. I hope it was wonderful. I hope you did something.
I don't unfortunately I don't have any American friends in the UK, so I do know people that do have American friends and they celebrated, but yeah, it's not crossed over the channel yet. Give it a
Not
few
yet.
years.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
it does, because you'll get a long weekend
We
and a lot
wait.
of
We live in
turkey and
hope.
pie. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
wait for Christmas for these things, you see. But
Oh, well, Christmas. Let's hope that's a big deal. You see my poinsettia in the back, and I'm working on getting a ugly Christmas sweater for these events here. Ugly Christmas sweaters here in the U.S. are a big deal. So I got to find something real gaudy, something real crazy. That's the plan.
well, good luck. I've never owned a Christmas sweater, but you know,
Oh,
it's never too late to start, is it?
it's never too late. You got to get the obnoxious kitty ones with the bells and the little packages and something you never wear outside of December. It's great.
I'll look out for them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've enjoyed my chat with you again, Alex,
Me
as
too.
always.
Me too. Yeah, great to see you, Jennifer, and thanks for
Yeah, you
updating
too.
us.
Yes,
Cheers.
thank you, and have a great class. Another great class.
Thank you.
All
Cheers.
right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so welcome to everyone who has joined us. I can see we've got quite a few students who have joined us directly in the class. Hello to each of you, Adrian, Sel, Flora, Dan, and Belle. I will aim to get all of you involved today in some speaking practice. Also, hello to those who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook. I can see that Olabisi, Fejas, and Geeka have all joined and are watching us. Sky as well, Skywalker, is that your real name? All watching us on Facebook. So welcome to all of you. And if you would like to join us directly in the class, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, and you would like to get involved in some speaking practice, then you can do so by joining us here at the IELTS Scholarship Program. If you are a nurse looking to live and work in the United States, then we can provide you with the support and guidance you need in order to achieve that goal. Just click on the link, which you can see scrolling at the bottom of the video, and click on the option Staff Nurse in order to find out more information. You could potentially get all of the support for free. So I want to have a look today at the IELTS speaking criterion, which is fluency and coherence. Particularly in part 3, we need to demonstrate fluency and coherence. It has to be demonstrated throughout the response, throughout the speaking test, but part 3 particularly can be a challenge. Now, we're not expected to be experts in the topics that we will answer questions on in part 3, but we are expected to provide cohesive and coherent responses. And there's a number of ways in which we can do this. So, of course, for IELTS Speaking Part 3, we have to give our opinion on a topic. So let's have a look at an example of a question that we could get in this part of the exam. The question is, why is it important for children to read? So here are 2 possible responses. I'd like you to tell me which you think is the best response and why. So the first response, why is it important for children to read? Children should read to improve their ability to recognize words. The second response, while some people think children should read to improve their spelling, I think it's also important that they use reading to advance their concentration skills. So which answer do you think is the better one to give in the exam, and why? So let me know what you think. I can see that Rosemary has joined us, as has Joskar. Welcome to both of you watching us on Facebook. Dorothy, you said you can't listen. You should be able to, hopefully. Just adjust your volume settings there. Hopefully that will allow you to listen. Clear is watching us as well. Hello to you, Clear. So what do we think then? Answer 1 or answer 2? Which one would we think would get us a better score in the exam? So Sky and Camrais are going for 2. And I think 2 is a good suggestion. So 2 is better for a number of reasons. And the reason is, Edna says there's elaboration. Okay, good, yep. There is elaboration. So giving an extended answer is important. For part 3, it helps us to show more fluency, doesn't it? The more we speak, the more fluent we appear to be, as long as what we're saying makes sense. But there are other elements that work for part 2 as well, or answer 2, I should say. So here are 3 things. So note these 3 things. What the speaker does in answer 2 is use linking devices. So we can see examples there, while, also, provides more than one answer to the question. So one reason children should learn to read is to improve their spelling, but also it's to advance their concentration skills. So more than one answer is provided. And also there's a reference to general opinions as well as personal opinions. So some people think is the general opinion. I believe obviously is a reference to the personal opinion. So these are 3 techniques that we can use in order to provide greater levels of fluency and coherence to our speaking. And if we're able to employ these different techniques, it will help to give better responses to IELTS Part 3 questions. So let's have a look at another example. Here is a following question. What's the best way to help children improve their reading skills? So an answer that is given as children should be supervised so that they can be given help if they are struggling to read a specific word. Okay, it's a decent answer, but it could be improved. We could be using more of these techniques of fluency and coherence in order to give a better response to this question. So what more could be added, do we think? How could we expand on this response in order to give a better response to the question? Think about the example we just looked at and the techniques that we used there. Could we use similar techniques here as well? Let me know what you think. Okay, so I have a suggestion here in terms of how we could improve the response. So let's have a look at that. So possible answer in terms of the improvement, we can see here, one way to help them would be to provide supervision from a parent or teacher, for example, so that they could be given help if they're struggling to read a specific word. Another way of helping them would be to provide comprehension questions so that children can reflect on their reading. So which techniques am I using here? What do you notice about my response? How has it been improved from the previous response? Can you see any techniques that I'm putting into practice? So the techniques that I've used, we'll see them here if we can. Linking devices, giving more than one answer, and also providing reasons for the answers. So these are all ways in which we can improve our fluency and coherence, doing these 3 things. Geica talks about elaborating, giving examples. Perfect. Well done, Geica. Dan also mentions giving examples. Yeah, brilliant, as we can see. And let's have a look at specific ways in which this is done. So here we are, linking devices. Don't forget linkers. Linkers in speaking part 3 really help to organize our response. One way, for example, another way. So these are all ways of structuring our response. Also, more than one answer. So remember in the previous question, more than one answer was given. That's also the case for this question. So one way to help them to provide supervision from a parent or teacher. Another way to provide comprehension questions. Okay, so more than one answer is given, and reasons are also given for the answers. So reason for providing supervision, so that they could be given help if they're struggling to read a specific word. And a reason for providing comprehension questions is so that children can reflect on their reading. So we can see that 3 techniques are used here in order to provide fluency and coherence in response to this part 3 question. So we'll be looking at part 3 questions in today's practice. my advice is that when you're giving responses to these questions, that you should use a combination of the techniques that we've looked at. So use linkers in order to provide structure, give more than one answer, because that will help you to expand your answer or to elaborate on your answer, and that will show more fluency. Give reasons for your responses, that helps to provide coherence, and also refer to general opinions as well as your own. So if we want to expand our answers, we can talk about the fact that some people believe, many people think, it's often said that the sorts of expressions that are used quite often in writing can also be used in speaking part 3. So when we're writing the essay, in writing part 2, there are certain expressions that we can use in this part of the speaking test in order to extend our responses and provide that fluency and coherence when we are speaking. So let's see how we do with that. We will start with part 2 today. We'll do some part 2 practice, and then we will look to put into practice some of these tips that we've looked at the beginning, hopefully, when we do our part 3 practice to follow up. So for part 2, there will be the presentation of a question and a minute to prepare before you'll be expected to speak on the topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Always aim to speak for the full 2 minutes. So let's see who we've got in the class today. I'm going to bring Belle into the class. If you're available, Belle, let's see.
Hello, good evening. Good
Hello.
evening here.
Good evening to you. It's afternoon here, but how are you doing, Belle?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing well. Which country are you in?
Currently, I'm working in Dubai.
Okay. Have you joined us before, Belle?
Yeah, but in Facebook only because I
Okay.
was working.
Okay. So this is the first time you've joined us in the speaking class?
Yes, sir.
In terms of directly?
Directly, yeah. First time.
Yeah, okay. Wonderful. Well, a warm welcome to you, Belle. So we're going to have a look at a part 2 question. Let me bring this up. So can you see the question on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Okay, so you've got a minute to prepare your response, and you should speak on the topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
I'll
brilliant.
try.
So okay, well, best of luck. So yeah, you've got a minute to prepare. Okay, Belle, are you ready to begin?
Yeah, I'll try.
Brilliant. So please describe a famous person you are interested in.
I would say, for me, sir, for me, when you say a famous person, I don't only pertain on acting skills, but of the good deeds that this person is doing to his colleague or to his colleague and to the people around him. And aside from my famous person, the famous person that I would pick is Keanu Reeves, because aside from him being a good actor, he is also well known for his charitable deeds. like giving to charities and being good to his staffs and just being sensitive to the people around him. I think for me that's his famous personality. Sorry, I go mental block, sir.
That's okay. Can you give
But
some
I'm really
examples?
thankful of this opportunity.
No, that's fine. Can you give some examples of the charitable deeds that he's done?
Okay. He almost, I think, half of his earnings in a film that he did, he donated it to his staffs because he think that the film will not be possible without the hard work uh, of the people behind him, which are the staffs.
Okay, thank you very much, Belle. Um,
Thank you.
so nice. So, yeah, we were doing well there. We had some nice ideas that you were including. I thought there were lots of opportunities that you could have taken to expand there. So you talked about, yeah, because you talked about Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't even say what he's famous for. So, you know, he's obviously he's an actor. Maybe you could give some examples of the films that he's been in. How did he become famous? Which film made him famous? And you could have given some details there. So those are ways that you can extend. You know, we were speaking for just over a minute, getting towards a minute and a half. So it wasn't as if, you know, you stopped very early. But yeah, there were just some other opportunities you could have taken there to expand on the information that you were giving. But yeah, generally you did well. There was some nice use of language. For example, some nice expressions, collocations, well-known charitable deeds. Also, some grammar you were using as well. So gerund forms, being sensitive. So there was some good use of language. There was some hesitation which came in. And I think that was more to do with content rather than language, because I think you were just thinking about, okay, what do I want to say next? So yeah, just maybe a few more notes, or just, you know, really looking at that card and seeing how you can make sure you're addressing each part of it, just to help provide you with more information to talk about. Just some slips with grammar. So staff is uncountable. So you're talking about,
Okay.
yeah, so you would never say staffs. It would always, yeah, be staff. And just also with plural forms, you talked about his colleague and the people around him. So it would be colleagues.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, there's more than one. And at the beginning, you talked about a famous people. You said, I don't only pertain on acting. So the expression wasn't quite right there. I think, you know, a more accurate way of expressing that is, I wouldn't only refer to acting.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can use pertain, but if something pertains to something, then it's linked to something or it's relevant to something. So I know the idea was clear, but the expression wasn't quite right. So you
Okay,
could say
sir.
that his abilities don't only pertain to acting. That would be
Okay.
possible as well. So yeah, but well done, Belle, for getting involved, and yeah, it was great to have you part of the class. I look forward to doing more practice with you in the future.
Me too. I'll be more I'll be more good next time.
No worries. Brilliant. Okay, take care, Belle.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so let's have a look at another part 2 question. And who have we got in the class today? Let me bring Adrian into the class. Hi there, Adrian. Are you with us? Oh, it's a bit silent. Okay, let me bring Dan into the class. Hi there, Danny. Are you with us?
Yes. Hi. Good evening. Good evening,
Brilliant.
Alex.
Good evening to
How are
you. I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great also. I just got my
Good.
booster vaccine. It's really hurt.
Oh, does it? What, more than the
Yeah.
original vaccine?
Yeah. Before I took the Sinovac, but today I had my Moderna.
Okay. And the Moderna, it hurts a bit, does it?
Yeah, the
Uh,
injection site. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Well, I hope you recover soon. Generally speaking,
Yeah.
people tend to recover quite quickly, don't they?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, Dan. So we're going to move on to another part two speaking topic, and I'm going to
Okay.
bring this up now. So this is the topic of help. Can you see this on your screen?
Yes, I can see it now.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've got a minute to prepare then, Dan, and then you should talk about the topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, you ready to begin?
Oh, sure. I don't know
Okay.
if I can do this. Sorry.
So, no worries. Please describe a time someone helped you.
Well, yes. Okay. Asking for a help from someone is really vital nowadays because it can fasten your skills or the things that you're doing. So I would like to talk about someone who tried to help me, and she is none other than Isabel, and she is my workmate as well as my friend for over 7 years. And she's diligent because of a lot of awards that she had received during before the pandemic, actually. And apart from that is she's so dexterous when it comes to creating some artistic design. So that time I asked for help from her because I mean my supervisor tasked me to do some of my case study, and she did is she composed the chapter 1 to chapter 3 so that I could focus more on chapter 4 and 5. And when we completed the case study, I was so excited because we are going to because finally I can be able to present this to my supervisor. And it feels like I felt like I'm over the moon at that time because without her I don't think that I'm going to complete this kind of case study because it's really hard to do a manuscript, especially when you are dealing with a lot of diagrams and numbers, analytics, and computations. And by means of her help, we successfully did it, and with flying colors. And my heart was pounded in excitement at that time when we tried to present it at the panel. So we were given an outstanding grade, and they had a standing ovation on us.
Okay,
And in the
thank you.
future, all right, sorry.
That's great. No, that's great, Dan. You've got all the content you needed there to answer the question successfully. So yeah, well done there. I thought that was a really strong response.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, no, it was great, and you were able to really link your ideas together extremely successfully and to expand on the points as well in a fluent and coherent manner. So
Oh,
that was
really?
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I can see that you're really picking up some useful phrases here. I'm just going to go
Yeah.
through some of them. So none other than was a really nice way to introduce your colleague and your friends.
Yeah.
So it was none other than, that was a nice expression. Apart from that was a way of kind of linking to another part of the topic that you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
What she did is, so again, you're using the sort of
Was.
emphatic expression.
Yeah, what she
No,
did.
that was fine. Yeah, what she did was, yeah, that's true actually, because you're talking about the past.
The past, yeah.
So yeah, so what she did would have been even better. But I just like the expression
Sorry.
you were using there
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
because you could
That
say
is cleft
she
sentence,
did.
right?
Exactly. Cleft
Yeah.
sentence to bring
I
emphasis.
learned that from Ma'am Elsa.
Yes, you used it last week as well, and you used it effectively on that occasion too. So it's great that you're actually putting this stuff into practice, which is obviously what it's all about. Other examples of linking, when we completed the case study. So again, you're linking from one part of the topic to the next part of the topic.
Yeah.
And that was really good. And a final one you use by means of as well, by means of her help was the expression you used. Yeah, so lots of really good strategies that you're using here to link ideas together. And to say we went at the beginning from struggling with this to now getting to a stage where you just obviously had so much to say.
Yeah.
It shows really good progress. And
you know what?
yeah.
What I told what I answer right now, it's just a fabricate, and I can't believe that I did it. Because the first time I did it, I didn't complete the 2 minutes.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And obviously you've just become much more confident with this part of the test. And that's where the practice is so important. But not only is it just the fact that you're practicing, you're also learning new things and you're putting those new things into practice.
You're correct.
So that's really good. Yeah, some nice language as well. Dexterous, I like that. That was a nice word that you were using there.
Yeah.
You passed with flying colors. That was nice as well. Nice idiomatic
expression. Yeah.
Exactly. That was good. Just at the end, you said we were given, you mentioned a standing ovation. And I kind of cut you off there just at the end. But standing ovation was a nice expression to use, just to make sure we're using it correctly. I think you used the preposition on, if I remember rightly. But
we were given,
go on. We were given
a standing. We were given a standing ovation.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's right.
That would be perfect. Yeah, we were given a standing ovation. Would be absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that was a nice expression as well.
Yeah. Then I'm going to say the conditionals, but I don't have any time. So, well, I don't have a choice. But
You don't have to do it all. Don't worry. You don't have to do it all. You did enough. You did enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good. Just a couple. What do I know? Yeah, just a couple of things. They weren't big things, but so you said that time. So that time was used to provide structure. Just a preposition. So at that time.
At that time. Okay.
Yeah. So at that time or on that occasion. But yeah. So just a preposition there. And then you also said to fasten your skills. I think what you wanted to say there was to speed up or perhaps to improve or develop skills.
Yes, speed up.
Yeah. So yeah.
That is a phrasal verb, right?
To speed up would have been a phrasal verb, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Fasten you do to your seatbelt. To fasten your seatbelt. But yeah, you can't use it in the context of speed up.
That is right.
And yeah, I think that was pretty much all I was going to pick up on, really. Really vital. I mean, that's fine. If you say vital, then you don't need to say really, because vital already means really important. But sometimes people do this in speech. Yeah. So that's a small point, really. But yeah, really well done, Dan. I thought it was a very strong response to part 2.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for your help.
No worries. You're very welcome.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, great. Well, we're going to move on to part 3 now to do some practice there. Just before we do, for those who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, if you would like to join us directly in classes such as this, and you're a nurse who is looking to live and work in the United States, we can provide you with the support and the guidance necessary in order to help you achieve your ambitions. We could potentially provide you with all of this support for free. If you want to find out more information, click on the link which you can see scrolling at the bottom of my video and click on the option Staff Nurse, and you can find out more about this opportunity. So moving on to part 3. let's see who is going to join us here. So obviously at the beginning of the class, I was talking about some tips relating to this part of the exam. So let me bring Jasmine into the class to do some practice here. Are you there, Jasmine? Oh, no, I can't hear anything from Jasmine. No, let me know in the comments, Jasmine, if you're able to come back online. Who else has joined us in the class today? Let me bring Marianne into the class. Are you with us, Marianne? No. Okay. Who else have we got here? Flora. Hi, Flora. Are you with us?
Hi. Hi,
Hello.
Alex. How
How are you doing? I
I'm
am well,
good.
thank you
Quite
very much.
busy.
Okay,
Uh,
busy with work or
yeah,
studies?
and doing some, studies, practice tests.
Studies. How's it going? Is it going well?
Quite. Hope so.
Okay. So, Flora, we're going to do some part 3 practice together now. And
Okay.
I'm going to bring up the topic. So we're going to go back to the topic of celebrity. So my first question for you, Flora, what influences can famous people have on society?
Okay. Oh, when it comes to that, when we talk about influences, I think famous people or celebrity can have a big impact with in our society, especially they are well known, and most of the people are uh, being uh, aware of what they are doing. So I think it will be more effective. They are more effective influencing people. For example, like a brand or a product that they are endorsing. So most of the people who are well known or famous are, uh, I could say, they are using also the brand that they are endorsing. So people will for sure um, purchase or use that brand also because of the popularity of that person who is using that brand.
Okay. And how can celebrities have a positive influence on young people?
Uh, Quite difficult, but then maybe when it comes to the way they are endorsing or the way they appeared on, for example, television, they should be more be well mannered or maybe more aware of what they are telling or what they are um, uh, how they are behaving in front because young people, most of our young peoples, they do imitate what the old ones are doing nowadays. So I should say they should be more on a positive side of what they are endorsing or what they are showing off in front of the camera or in front of the people.
How do people online become famous?
Mm, I should say maybe because of uh, how the people interact with what they are doing or how the people will um, imitate or how they will follow them on what they are doing. So I think famous people will be known of how people accepts how or how people. I got out of my sorry, Alex. I can't figure it out.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Do you think that people on YouTube can help to resolve difficult social problems?
Well, yeah, I should say yes. They could have an impact on how to resolve some issues when it comes to maybe either personal or family or something social issues, because uh, people on YouTube or on social media should have what do you call this? Should have a positive outlook or feedback. They should show off not all the negative ones, but more on the positive outcome or positive feedback, so that they can influence people how they could solve or adapt with some issues or concerns.
Okay, thank you very much, Flora.
I don't think I answered properly.
There were some good things. There were some good things in what you were doing. So you were using some, some good variety in vocabulary, particularly relevant vocabulary to the topics. So talking about brands or products that they are endorsing. So that was some nice vocabulary that was used there. Also, you're talking about young people, they imitate, you were saying, famous people. You're also talking about how people interact with those online or follow. So there were some good examples there. Positive outlook was quite nice as well. So yes, there were some good examples of language that we used. You were clearly attempting to address the question, but I felt particularly with the last two questions, what would have helped to have made your response slightly more fluent and coherent would have been if you were to give examples. So looking at people online, maybe who've become famous via being online. I don't know if there are any sort of YouTubers that you follow or that you've heard about, maybe in the Philippines, who've become famous. So you could give some examples, and also maybe when it comes to issues as well that people online or on YouTube could be involved with. Maybe, I don't know, there are certain people that have been involved in protesting because of climate change, for example, or people that have been protesting about, injustice, maybe treatment of females, for example, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, just giving a few
I was not able to
examples.
give examples. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything comes to mind, or sometimes just invent something. It doesn't matter. You could say, oh, in the
Okay.
Philippines, there's this famous person called Mary, Marquez, and she does lots of campaigning for women's rights, and she's really important. Yeah, you can invent things if you're not sure,
Yeah.
just to help
Right.
you develop your responses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that would have been a good way to just make some improvements there. Just in terms of vocabulary, you use the expression show off a couple of times, but just be aware, show off has a negative connotation. If you're showing
I
off,
see.
it means you're a bit arrogant or you're boasting
Okay.
about something. So
I'll
yeah,
take
so
note of that.
no worries. I think you just meant to show or to demonstrate would have been
Okay.
what you wanted to say there. And adapt at the end, you said adapt with, but the preposition we use with adapt is to adapt to
Okay.
something. And finally, well-known, it's not well-known, well-known, because the past participle form is known. So know, knew, known. So yeah, well-known is the
Okay.
is a phrase there. So yeah, some nice answers there, Flora. But as I say, yeah, just with a few more examples, I think that would have helped you provide a bit more coherence.
Okay. I
Okay.
should practice more. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, no worries. That's why we're here. Cheers, Flora, and best of luck going forwards.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's have a look at another part 3 topic. And we're going to have a look at help. And let's see who we've got here to do some practice with us today. Let me bring Raymond into the class. Hi there, Raymond. Are you with us? No, Raymond's not with us. Okay, let me bring Sel in. Hi there, Sel. Oh, are you there, Sel? She's gone quiet. Okay. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, sir.
No worries, no worries. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. So I've got some questions for you, Sel, based on the topic of help. And the first question I'd like to ask you is whether you think it's important for people to ask for help.
Yes, definitely. It's really vital for the people as to some advice, especially in terms of career for those younger people, because they need some piece of advice from their parents, enable for them to come up with a better solution where actually their parents can give them or share some of their experiences that is relevant, and as well it helped them to choose what career they will gonna pursue.
And in which kinds of situations do people usually ask for help?
Based on my observation is that they usually asking for something about relationship status, because sometimes their friends are struggling for their uh, partner who's they need to have some advice regarding on that if they will continue to be with that other person. Another thing in terms of um to their work related, because some has misunderstanding, so most of their friends asking for the advice of other if they will continue or stay in this certain place. And I think
Okay.
those are kind of situation that they are facing.
Why do some people not like asking for help?
I guess that they already know what they are doing and they are matured enough, so they don't want to ask for the advice of other. Secondly is that they are very uh, I guess they are in control with their lives. What I mean is that they actually they know what they will choose for certain tasks that they need to accomplish.
And do you think that people are as helpful now as they were in the past?
I believe yes, because nowadays are more people is really extending their hands to others by means of charity, so they can help other people as well in other part of the country. Another thing in is that they physically went there in certain place whose experiencing any calamities or any kind of help that they need.
Okay, thank you very much there, Sel. Some nice responses there. And it was good to hear you looking to use some of the organization features as well that were discussed at the beginning of the class. So you were secondly was used in order to provide more than one answer to the question, which was good. Also, you were using some nice expressions. So you use piece of advice, although I will just say you use some piece of advice. So if you say some, it should be some pieces. Or you could just say some advice, but the expression piece of advice was quite nice. And your responses were generally coherent as well, although there was some hesitation at times in the responses. I think you were hesitating to try and think about exactly what it was you wanted to say, thinking a little bit more about structure. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're reflecting a bit more on structure, but just be aware of the fact that obviously with the hesitation, that does reduce the fluency a bit as well. So it's about getting that balance right between having a coherent structure, but not having too many pauses in your speech. Just a few slips on grammar. So I mentioned it should be pieces of advice because you used it with some. Also, just with verb forms, you said some has a misunderstanding. Again, with some, you need to use plural forms. So plural verbs, some have a misunderstanding. Also, you talked about being in control with their lives, but the preposition would be of, to be in control of their lives. And then for a final one, you also said people will going to pursue, but you can't use will and going to together. So will pursue or are going to pursue is what you want to use because both of them refer to the future. So it's, yeah, either be, going to, or will in that case. So just a few grammatical slips there, but yeah, your responses are sounding more coherent and more structured. So it's good to hear you moving in that direction. And the more that you keep practicing, the more coherent your responses are going to be. So we're moving in the right direction, Sel. So well done.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm really struggling for part 3.
Yeah, part 3 is
That's the
often the most
problem.
challenging. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, but you did well. You did a good job there. As I say, it's just reducing the hesitation and yeah, continuing to work on some of the grammatical elements as well for the accuracy. But you've got some good strategies in there, and you are addressing the questions directly. So yeah, there's definitely some positive elements to what you're doing in part 3.
Thank you so much, sir, for that time. I cannot believe that I answered it directly because I don't know where my thoughts going. That was my problem always for this part.
Well,
Because
remember, you don't. Yeah, go on.
yes, because when I'm thinking like at the same time I'm nervous. That's why I cannot think well.
Yeah, so it can be a bit distracting. But I think what you're doing is you're with the pausing, you're giving yourself a little bit more time to think about the content of what you're saying, which is good. And that's the right thing to do. But obviously, the more you practice, the less it will be necessary to pause because it will come more naturally to you as you develop that confidence and that familiarity. Just ask Dan; he's a good example.
Yes,
So yeah, but you're definitely moving in the right direction, Sel.
I hope, sir, next time.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
No worries. Thank you and take care.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you to all those who have participated today. And sorry to those who I wasn't able to bring in. Do obviously, if you join the class, do pay attention to the connection elements as well. Make sure that you're not on mute and that you can be heard. And then obviously that gives me the best opportunity to bring you in for us to do some practice. But if you were not able to join us today, as usual, I will prioritize bringing you in next week. If you join then, so do join us then. I can see here we've got Flora's asked, how can she join the class? Click on the link Flora, which you can see scrolling at the bottom of the video here, and you will be able to find out information as to how you could join us at the scholarship program and be able to practice with us live here and get some feedback on your speaking. So thank you once again to all of those who have joined us, and for those who would like to join us directly, again, who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, I've just given the details there for the IELTS scholarship program. If you're a nurse who wishes to live and work in the United States, then click on that link and click on the option staff nurse, and you can find out how you can get extra support and guidance in order to achieve that ambition, and you could receive all of that for free. Until next week then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.